Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Power is Now TV network. My name is Eric Frazier, and this is the Eric Frazier Show where we talk about faith, family, and finance. Thank you for joining me this evening on President's Day. And I certainly hope all of you are thinking about the President of this United States and about the state of this country. I thought I would go live today on President's Day, on a holiday, and hopefully many of you are able to watch this live broadcast. And if not, well, you can watch it later and share your thoughts on our topic today. I'm really excited about going live because I haven't done it in a while. And for a minute there, I was going live every day. And you just can't imagine, what's really involved. It's a lot involved in going live every day. And I appreciate the support I have to be able to do it today. And so today we're going to be focused on a number of things here. This is the Eric Frazier Show where we talk about faith, family, and finance. And normally I'm dealing with one of those things, faith, family, or finance. But today I'm going to talk about leadership. This is a three-part show, and we're going to talk about leadership in public life, leadership in community, and leadership in business through media ownership. And it's very important we understand really all three today because leadership is everything. There's a saying that everything rises and falls on leadership. Have you heard that before? And it's so true. You can probably understand that just through your own life, the leadership you've had in your life personally, from home and work and into leadership that right now in our community and with this government, with the United States of America. And so I want to talk about leadership from the standpoint of government leadership. Last night I had the opportunity to watch an interview with Nora O'Donnell from CBS News with Governor Wes Moore. And I was really impressed by that interview and the discussion they had. And I want to get into the details, share my perspective on Governor Wes Moore's leadership and his responses to the question. I want to talk about leadership in the community. You may not be aware of the 100 Black Men of America. There's a chapter where I live, and that is in the Inland Empire, Riverside, California. And they're doing some incredible things. And I want to talk about their work and about the golf tournament that they have scheduled coming soon, April 20th. And so I want you to definitely look out for that tournament. And we'll be talking about the golf tournament. It's a great opportunity for anyone who loves to play golf, obviously, to be involved, but also for anyone that's interested in just supporting a great organization that's doing some really important work. And we're going to get into the details of that. And then the last thing I want to talk about is the Power is Now Real Estate News Program. It's called the Real Estate Correspondent Program. And it's on our website under the Power is Now. And I'm going to not only share the details of that program with you tonight, but I'm also going to give you a sample of what it looks like if you are a real estate agent and you want to participate in the program, be a news correspondent. Well, we welcome you to the program. It's a great opportunity. So before I start, for those of you who may be watching online right now, please let me know you're there. Tell us where you're from and what particular industry you're in. I would love to hear from you. And if you happen to catch this after the live event, I still would love to hear from you. Share your comments and your thoughts about our topics today, because it's very important that we all stay engaged and we communicate. I want to know what you think, because I'm certainly going to share what I think about what's going on with leadership in government, leadership in the community, and also leadership here in Riverside in real estate. So if you want to learn more about me, go to ericfrazier.com or thepowersnow.com. ericfrazier.com is my personal site in which I'm a consultant. I help people make decisions worth in buying real estate, selling real estate, obtaining home loans. I provide personal financial coaching, business coaching. I help people achieve their goals. And in the course of powersnow.com is our media website where we are not only a TV network broadcasting, but we help real estate agents be the brand they see themselves in the world. So let's get right to our first topic, and that is Wes Moore on CBS last night, folks. And if you didn't see it, you really missed it. I encourage you to find it, go watch it. You know, when I'm watching an interview like that, I'm not just listening for sound bites, I'm listening for leadership structure. What problems are being addressed by the leader? What problems are being named? What responsibility is being accepted for the state of affairs? What outcomes are being measured to determine the success? Are you moving forward or moving backwards? And what is the moral framework guiding the decisions of the leaders? And I tell you, it's interesting that everyone approaches leadership from their own unique existential, situation, their reality, how they were raised. And Wes Moore had a very challenging childhood, and he doesn't even really see himself as a politician, but just as a citizen coming up the hard way, single mom, and dealing with all the challenges that represents. And here he finds himself as governor of Maryland, the state of Maryland. And I'm really impressed by his responses today, last night, and just by his whole persona and what he represents. And honestly, I was kind of disappointed when he was asked if he was considering running for president. And in fact, that was one of the final questions asked. And I have some thoughts about his response. And so what I want to do, though, in this segment is to share some of the questions that were asked by Norah O'Donnell. And I thought she did a pretty good job in the interview, and especially giving him an opportunity, as well as people in the audience, to share their thoughts, their questions, and for him to have a thorough response. And so one of the questions was, what should the Democratic Party change in its approach? What should the Democratic Party change in its approach? And his response was that the Democratic Party must stop being perceived as the party of no and slow, and instead be proactive and responsive to immediate challenges facing voters. And he gave an example like the cost of living concerns, affordability in housing, and everyday issues. And I have to tell you, I was really impressed by that response. The Democratic Party being the party of no and slow. We don't need a party of just obstructionists trying to get in the way of making changes and making progress. We need a party, a Democratic Party, to take action. And he urged the Democratic Party to match the Republicans' urgency, not just on ideology, but on action, focusing on practical solutions rather than endless studies. I thought that was a great response. And by the way, I am not a Democrat and I am not a Republican. In fact, I'm an independent. I was a Republican for many, many years, switched for about 30 days to the Democratic Party, realized they're both a mess, and I went to the Independent Party because it aligns really kind of where I am today. And so I appreciated his response and really calling out the Democrats, but also at the same time, he's calling out the Republican Party on some issues that he later addressed. In fact, that was the second question, and that is his criticism of President Trump. The question was, how does he respond to President Trump's actions, including an incident involving an image of President Obama and as apes? And I tell you, the response on both sides was, I think, reasonable and acceptable and necessary, condemning the president for endorsing this image of Obama and Michelle and Barack Obama's apes. And I tell you, it just really speaks to a much larger issue that's at play in the White House. And his response was that he said that presidents' actions speak for themselves, and he declined to label Mr. Trump directly as a racist. He framed the question as one the president should answer, and then he began to kind of lay out all the things that the president has done. And I think, as far as I'm concerned, he might as well have just called the president a racist. When you look at the list of everything that the president has done, he says, but I'll let, the public speak for itself. I'll let the president speak for himself. In other words, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, acts like a duck, it's a duck, right? And so I thought that was a pretty a political, well placed comment as to whether or not he thinks that President Trump is a racist. And in addition to that, she asked about the interview and Trump posting on social media that Wes Moore, was foul-mouthed and accused him of lying about military honors. Claimed that Moore dismissed. He claims that Moore dismissed as full of lies and unhinged. He considers the president as just unhinged and full of lies, and he stood by his record. He says it's been clearly documented by Oxford University and and by the military what his honors are, and also about his family being kicked out of or basically ran out of the United States by the Ku Klux Klan, coming from his father, who is a pastor, or not his father, but his, I believe, his grandfather. And, honestly, I was kind of surprised that Nora even addressed those claims, those issues, because do they really matter, right? Of course, it matters if someone is telling the truth or not. And of course, he needs to defend himself because they're saying he's lying about these things. But just like Barack Obama's birth certificate, I mean, there is a clear and easy way for the media to get to the bottom of it. Instead of asking him, go to Oxford, go to the military, and just get the proof and put an end to all of this. And so I would challenge CBS to, dig further and go directly to the source and let the public know. We rely on the media, unfortunately, because we have no other choice. We don't have the ability or the time to go to the military or to get in front of those individuals who would have the actual source documents to prove whether or not these things are true or not. We don't have the time or the resources. And so we rely on the media to do the right thing and to get to the truth of the matter and to stop those, because they present the truth, from making these false allegations and statements, and to hold them accountable for being what they're claiming the other person is, and that is liars about the record. And this is the problem with politics. And I think Wes Moore did a great job in addressing this, and that everything is a personal attack. Instead of dealing with the issues, standing on the issues, debating the issues, you want to dehumanize a person by calling them names and talking about their family and talking about their record and trying to discredit them so that anything they have to say that is addressing the real issue is somehow not taken seriously. I mean, this is a tactic of politicians ever since politics were born, and it needs to stop, because what it's doing is it's preventing a lot of good people from even getting into politics because of the personal attacks that are taking place. The last question, or not necessarily the last question, but these are just a few of the questions that I took note of. He was asked about being disinvited from a National Governors Association dinner at the White House. And his response was he reiterated that no president determines his worthiness. And because President Trump said he wasn't worthy to be at the White House, he said no president determines his worthiness. And I said, oh my God, that is so true. No president, and forget about president, it doesn't matter if you're the president of the United States or you're the King of England. You do not determine any person's worthiness. God, he said, and the people of Maryland determines his worthiness, and they determine his worthiness by voting him into office, and he's running for office again. So he declined the invitation on his own terms and said he wouldn't participate in the name calling. And for me, this was a defining moment in the town hall meeting, reflecting partisan tensions, but also Moore's emphasis on dignity and accountability over political theater. Because all we have happening right now in Washington is political theater. That's all we have. We have Congress, and Congress is a bus. We can't even trust our congressmen, our representatives, to do what is right for the American people, but only what is right for big donors who help them stay in office, and for corporate companies, corporations that provide them the means to be able to run for office. And that's who they serve. They don't serve the American people. And it's evidenced by so many things that are happening. The failure to pass immigration, the failure to pass the Affordable Care Act, and the failure to deal with the budgeting. We're going to have another budget crisis coming up again. Our Congress is a bust, folks. It really is. In fact, I wrote a book called the Affordable Care Act. It'll be out in just a few days, providing some my perspective on the matter. As Joe Citizen, I'm nobody but a mortgage banker, broker, and a citizen. That's who I am. But I think the matter is so simple that every American really needs to take the time to understand healthcare in this country, and recognize that solutions to our healthcare problem are literally right under our nose with Medicare and the Veterans Administration. And so I address that in my book. I encourage you to check it out. It will be available on Amazon and all the bookstores in about a week here. It's called the Affordable Care Act, and it's coming out soon. The last question was on immigration and border policy. And the question was, are current immigration systems working? And his response, I thought, was very accurate. I mean, he stated that the immigration system has failed over multiple administrations, and he suggested reforms are needed now. And I think that's a truthful statement. We can't, this is not a partisan issue anymore. Ruby Frazier. We cannot determine or blame the Democratic administration or the Republican administration because they've all had opportunities. We blame really the American people for not putting pressure on both the Democratic administration and the Republican administration. We, the people, we are the employers. These are representatives. And yet we have not put enough pressure. We have not held our representatives accountable enough to put the reforms in place. And he cited a perfect example that right now the Republican administration has control of the House and the Senate. And all the president has to do is to tell the Speaker of the House to put together a comprehensive immigration plan, and it could get approved by both the House and the Senate, and we would have a comprehensive plan in place right now. And so why hasn't it happened? It's because of other hidden agendas by both our congressmen and women who simply do not have the respect of the American people to solve this problem once and for all. And he stated that both parties have mishandled immigration enforcement and that meaningful reform is needed. And clearly, what's been happening recently with the Republican administration and immigration is terrible, and it should not be happening. But the Democratic Party do not have clean hands in this matter. There were problems under the Obama administration. There's been problems in every administration as it relates to immigration, and I believe that his response was appropriate and fair. He also talked about the affordability of housing, public safety, government accountability, state and national politics, and he was asked finally about his political future. and if he's considering running for higher office. And his response was that he has no plan to run for the president of the United States, and he's focused on Maryland's governorship. And I really appreciate him saying that because he's just finishing up his first term and he's got to run again, and he has a lot of work to do. And I believe that if you're going to run for the president of the United States, I don't think we can vote anyone in the office anymore who has a great line like "Make America Great Again," or the audacity of hope, or these great slogans are just that, slogans. We need someone who has actually done the work, who has solved problems at the state level as governor. That's what we need. We need people with a real track record behind them. And so that we can see that they're actually, qualified for the job and able to do the job. And not just to be able to do the job, but also understand politics as it really should be, realizing that you have to be able to let everyone have a seat at the table. You can't be partisan. You have to be American, not Republican or Democratic. You have to be American and to solve the problems for all the people and not just some of the people. Leadership is not about, sounding confident, which he did. He sounded very confident and his responses. But his response to that question indicates also that leadership is the ability to carry responsibility and to make decisions to solve problems and to stand up under the pressure that comes with doing all of that. And so he wants to take care of business in Maryland. He wants to get things straight in Maryland, and then he'll consider what his political future looks like. A lot of people want the title of a leader. They want to be a leader. But, it starts first before you get a true leadership role where you're actually responsible for something. It starts first with being a thought leader. And what is a thought leader? That's a person who's willing to state their position clearly on life, family, business, politics, faith, then defend it with logic, facts, and character. And if we've learned anything over this current administration and perhaps over previous administrations, that character is everything. It is everything. And that's where we have a problem right now. We have a character problem right now. And I'm not just talking about the highest office of the land. We have a character problem in the House of Representatives. We have a character problem in the House and the Senate. We have a character problem with our representatives in Congress altogether. They no longer represent the will of the people. They represent their own private interests. And it's evident by the trauma that they continue to inflict on the American public by their indecisions, their bad decisions, their inaction. It's just a mess. And so when you hear the word leadership, what do you think it means? Leadership is influence to me. It's service, it's accountability, it's courage, it's getting results. That's what really it is. And that leads me really into our second topic, and that is leadership in the community. That too is not theory. Leadership, even in the community, is action. And so we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about leadership in the community, the 100 Black Men of America, an incredible organization, folks. Stay tuned. Stay with me, right? We'll be right back right after this commercial break. All right, and we're back. For those of you just joining us, welcome to The Power Is Now TV. This is the Eric Frazier Show, and today we're talking about faith, family, and finance as it relates to leadership. And we just ended the first segment talking about President Trump and and Wes Moore, who is the governor of Baltimore, Maryland, actually, of the state of Maryland, and the interview that he had with Norah O'Donnell with CBS News. I encourage you to check out that interview. He is, I think that he's doing a great job. The statistics he cited in terms of the improvements that have been making in crime and education. And so I hope he'll continue the hard work that he's doing and ultimately achieve his goal and one day consider running for president of the United States. Next, I want to talk about the 100 Black Men of America. And I tell you, folks, this is an incredible organization. Are you familiar with the 100 Black Men of America? They're having a golf tournament coming up in just really about less than 30 days here, almost a little bit more than 30 days, April 20th. They're having their annual golf tournament, and it's a wonderful opportunity to network with Black business owners, and not just Black. Everyone tends Black, white, Latinos. Everybody supports the organization, but the organization is all about supporting youth, young, particularly African and young men, African women, young women who are meeting challenges at home and in life and at school and providing them incredible support. And it takes money to do that, right? They meet almost every single day at a school in which they are providing mentoring and bringing lunch or breakfast, depending on what time they're there to support these young men and women. I want to share a quick video of the organization and this golf tournament that they have coming up here. Check this out. The golf tournament is going to be something else. The 100 Black Men of the Inland Empire. This will be their 10th annual golf tournament, folks. It's going to be at the incredible Victoria Club in Riverside, California. If you haven't been there, folks, you have really missed out a great golfing opportunity if you love to play golf. And it's going to be wonderful because not only will they be giving away cars, cash, those golfers that really know how to hit the ball and get it into the hole, but they're also going to be having great lunch and great networking, and it's really going to be a wonderful opportunity for those of you who love to play golf and to support an incredible organization. So I want to encourage you to go to the website. It's 100bmie.org, 100bmie.org. And this organization, folks, is doing great work every single day. With the exception of Saturday and Sunday, they're in a school, bringing food and mentoring young people. On the weekends, they're conducting classes or even cleaning up areas. I mean, it is an amazing organization, and the work they're doing is really incredible. This is a flyer on the website. We were just showing you the flyer on the website. Let me do it again here. It's $250 per person, $1,000 for a foursome, and you can get the early bird special right now for $900. Get a foursome. Registration starts at 8:30, and it's at the fabulous Victoria Club in Riverside, California. I encourage you to go and participate and support this organization. And 100% of the funds go to scholarship. 100% of the funds. And so take advantage of the opportunity to meet some great people, to support a great organization that's doing great things in the community. I am a member of the 100 Black Men of America, and we need more Black men. And really, honestly, it doesn't matter what color you are. If you are all about supporting our young men and women, we want you to be a part of the organization. Go to 100bmie.org and learn more about it. Reach out to me. You can call me at 714-475-8629. I would love to make an introduction with our membership chair, with our president, Alonzo Duncan, who is doing an incredible job and leading the organization. Our golf chair, Craig Hudson, doing an incredible job promoting the golf tournament. We want to pack the house, folks. We really do at the Victoria Club, sell it out, make a lot of money for scholarships for our young people. And we want to connect within the community with our local business owners and individuals who are doing big things in Riverside. So I take my hat off to our president, Alonzo Duncan, for the great work he's doing, the leadership he's providing, for Craig Hudson, for the great work he's doing in organizing this. In fact, I want to encourage you to go to our website, thepowerisnow.com, and become a member. You can subscribe to our channel there and watch the interview I did with Craig Hudson. You can also download the Power Is Now TV. We're actually live right now, folks. If you go to your app store on your mobile device or your tablet, type in Power Is Now TV. Power Is Now TV, and you can watch us live. We're live right now on all the streaming devices, Apple, Roku, Fire TV, all the streaming devices. Our reach is in the hundreds of millions worldwide. They're watching us live right now on television. And so if you are not familiar with the 100 Black Men of America, go to the website, 100 Black Men of America, and check out, there's 117 chapters, even a chapter in Europe, in Paris. And it's a great organization doing great work. And I'm here in the IE, the Inland Empire, Riverside, California, proud to be a member of the Inland Empire chapter and to support the great work they're doing there. And I cannot emphasize enough to get involved. I did an interview with the president last year about their gala, which is every year, and it was really incredible. And I just recently did an interview with the chairman of the golf tournament, Craig Hudson, and these interviews are available on the Power Is Now TV, again, available on Apple, Roku, Fire TV. Download the TV app. You can also listen to the podcast on any podcast platform. You name it, we're there. iHeart, Spotify, you name it, we are there. Listen to the podcast, learn about the organization, the great work that they're doing. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. The 100 Black Men of America is just doing a great job, and I appreciate the work they're doing, and I'm proud to be a member. Again, if you would like to learn more about the local chapter here in Riverside, go to 100bmie.org. 100bmie.org, and check out the golf tournament. The details, the flyers are there. Check out membership. And of course, if you would like to learn more about membership, reach out to me. I'd be happy to talk to you about it. 714-475-8629, and make the introduction to the president of the chapter, and who is also in charge of membership. All right. So the 100 Black Men of America, April 20th. I'm going to be there playing golf. I'd love to see you there. Let's support this great organization. Next, I want to talk about news. You know, when you watch the news, you're watching news reporters. These are journalists, people with perhaps even degrees in journalism, or, that's what they do. They report the news. They don't really know about the news. They're not experts on the topic of the news, but they are reporting the news. Well, when you are thinking about buying a house or you're investing in real estate, whether here in California, where I'm based, or maybe in Texas, or in Maryland, or Idaho, or Washington State, or Washington, D.C., If you wanted to invest outside of the country, where do you go? Where do you go? Who do you call? Here's the thing. Here's the problem with real estate right now. You really don't know what's going on in any market you're going to buy unless you live there. First of all, you have to live there. And if you don't live there, then you're at the mercy of knowing somebody, knowing someone who lives there, or finding a real estate agent that you know personally and you trust who lives there and knows the market. And if you don't have those things, then you're kind of just hoping that you get someone that is an expert that can guide you and help you. Well, we want to solve that problem here at The Power Is Now. And we're doing so by launching The Power Is Now Real Estate News. And so let me share my screen. I want to give you an example of what I'm talking about here. If you go to the website, thepowerisnow.com, thepowerisnow.com, you will see under TV, and I'm going to share that right now, sharing the screen here. You will see under television, real estate news. Click on real estate news, and you'll see The Power Is Now Real Estate News. Now, on our TV app, you'll also see real estate news. On Roku, on Fire TV, you'll see real estate news. So we have launched the Power Is Now Real Estate News TV network, and we are looking for real estate agents in all 50 states, folks, all 50 states, to talk about real estate in their local market. Right now we have we have one person in California, North Carolina, Maryland, and Ohio. So that's why they're blue, but we need hundreds of agents in every single state across the country. We need them to share the news, to tell us what's going on. If I wanted to buy property in North Carolina, well, I know I can go talk to Cheryl Merritt in North Carolina. And not only can I talk to Cheryl Merritt in North Carolina, but Cheryl Merritt has an interview in which she broke down everything. I interviewed her about what's happening in North Carolina, and she's been there her entire life. She is a bona fide expert in North Carolina. If I live in California, if I wanted to invest in Palm Springs, California, well, I had Brandy Nelson, who is a pro, 20, almost 30 years in real estate. She provided a detailed real estate news report about commercial real estate and about residential real estate in California. And so what excites me about this program is that finally there's going to be a news network on all streaming platforms and soon to be on major networks. Here's the thing. As soon as we get all the states covered, folks, we're going to get picked up by a major streaming network. It is not a matter if, it's just a matter of when. And as soon as I can get coverage in all 50 states, and think about the lift that it's going to provide in terms of exposure to the agents who are on the network. Now, here's the great thing about this. Right now, if you wanted to know about Los Angeles, you can go to Selling Sunset, Selling Los Angeles. You want to know about Chicago, you can go to Selling Chicago. You can go to, Selling Seattle. There's all these TV shows about selling real estate, selling LA, selling Chicago, selling Seattle, selling, Utah. But what are they really? These are nothing more than entertainment shows, and they're hardly even talking about real estate. They're talking about, their lives, right? And then everything is so unrealistic. They're selling multi-million-dollar houses, driving around in Lamborghinis, and there's nothing you really learn at all. Nothing you learned at all. And so I would invite you to be a part of just kind of a new opportunity where we can really change how real estate agents are being depicted in the media right now. When it comes, with the exception of those who are doing home improvement shows on HGTV, fix this old house, that kind of thing, flip this and that. For those who are interested in flipping property and that kind of thing, that's great. Or showing buyers around who are looking at buying second homes or vacation homes, that's all great. But the average American that I know just wants to get in where they fit in. They want to buy a house, right? Not a second home, not a vacation home, not a mansion, not a place in Hawaii. They just want to buy something in California or in Texas or New York, something that's affordable. And they would love to hear what's actually going on. That's what they would love to hear. And so that's what we're doing. On the website, if you go to the Power is Now TV Real Estate News, and you'll see the map. You can scroll down, click on the button. Also, if you want to just go on the menu bar, you'll see the news correspondent. There's a PowerPoint presentation right here, and it takes you through it completely. In fact, I even have a video that I want to share with you right now that will just help me save my voice because I'm losing it right now, and to tell you all about this program and why it's so important and why you should be a part of it. So check this out right now. Let's see here.
Hello, everybody. My name is Eric Frazier, President and CEO of The Power is Now Media. We are relaunching The Power is Now Real Estate News. As the director and executive producer of many of the shows here, I'm just finding it difficult to have the time to do real estate news. And so we are relaunching The Power is Now Real Estate News, and we're looking for serious, experienced, knowledgeable agents across the country. Folks, I'm talking about in every city, every county, every state in the United States, we need correspondents. That's right, correspondents, people that can talk about the economics of real estate in your market area, the market, what's going on, real estate related news. And we're not just going to leave it all up to you, right? We're going to provide you full support to do it. So you will be officially a member of the Power is Now Media team. You will be a real estate news correspondent. You will have a production team to help you with writing, scripting, producing, and just distributing the content. In fact, we will be distributing your show on all of our streaming platforms, Apple TV, Roku, Fire TV, all the streaming platforms, as well as all of our social media platforms. In addition to that, we're going to be providing it to you, fully packaged, ready to go, to distribute on all of your social media platforms as well. We want you to do that. Now, in addition to being, a news correspondent, we're going to, advertise you. You'll be in our real estate magazine, our national magazine, our HUD Homes magazine, our television guide. We'll create a commercial about you as a news correspondent and your news shows that will be occurring on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. You can choose the frequency of which you want to produce news. It is completely up to you. And so it's a win for you because you have an opportunity to build your brand as an expert in real estate in your particular market. And you are doing this on behalf of an established media company. Folks, we've been in business now for 15 years. It's 15 years in August. We have been broadcasting. And we're broadcasting on all social media platforms and all streaming platforms, as well as our website. You can check it out right now. And so to be able to say that not only are you a seasoned real estate professional working for a particular franchise or brand, your own company, but you also act as a real estate correspondent for the Power is Now News, Real Estate News, the Power is Now Media. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that's pretty cool, right? In fact, if you ever gotten an invitation by a local TV network to jump in for 5 minutes and give your side of the story, if you will, of what's going on with the market, that's kind of like it. But this is far better because we're talking about, 1 hour of production time of which we will create 5 to 10 minute segments on real estate news about your particular area because you're the expert. So if you want to learn more about this program, just click on the link below. It'll take you to our landing page on the website where you can read the full presentation. And of course, all the details are there This is a great opportunity for any real estate agent looking to grow their brand to truly be the expert. Just having a social media presence is not enough today. You have to have some really good content. I mean, something that's adding value, something that is sharing information that people don't know or not aware of. And ultimately, in doing that on a consistent basis, especially connected with a media company, you then establish a following and you become a resource to your community and to your clients. Well, we certainly hope that you will heed the call. This is a casting call. Not everyone can qualify. You have to be experienced and you have to have the gift, right? I mean, it's not something we can teach. You got to be able to bring it, to speak about real estate, have the personality. This is something you have to really want to do and think you can do it. And if you can, we're going to give you the opportunity. Not only we're going to give you the opportunity, but we're going to give you exclusivity on your market area. So we just have one news correspondent per city or per market area. Of course, for very large cities, we're going to cut them up into quadrants or north, south, east, and west. We're going to make it happen so that everyone gets an opportunity, especially in large metropolitan areas. So if you have any questions about this, you feel free to give me a call, 714-475-8629. Drop me an email at eric.frazier@thepowerisnow.com. In fact, you can click on the calendar link below and schedule a time to talk to me about it. And you're going to be amazed just how great this program is. And I really look forward to talking to you about it. Thank you for watching. Hey, the power is now. It really is to build your brand, to be the brand you see yourself in the world. Thank you for watching.
The Power is Now magazines are the leading resource for real estate agents, mortgage bankers, entrepreneurs, and small home ownership businesses, providing leaders with business strategy information, resources, and tools through PIN, Real Estate, Programming Guide magazines. Stay up to the minute with real estate news and information from industry experts. Sign up today. thepowerisnow.com. thepowerisnow.com.
The power is now. It really is, folks. And I am excited about the Real Estate News Correspondent program because it's a wonderful opportunity for real estate agents. I've been in real estate and lending and in business for 43 years. 43 years. And so I have just been on the front line of the change. I mean, when I started lending, there wasn't even a FICO score or even a computer. We hand wrote everything, applications. There was no credit score. I mean, we actually we did our own appraisals. We worked with title to clear title. This is in the 80s, 1981, 82. And look at us today. Heck, you can't do anything today without, needing not just a computer, but a software and programs to make it all possible. And the reality is today, you can't really be in business in a professional, in a meaningful way without having an online presence. And it began with, I remember when so many real estate professionals and lenders who were resistant to even websites, and they thought it was a fad. And then they realized, geez, if you don't have a website, you're not even in business. You're not even relevant, right? And so everybody got on board with the websites. And of course, websites continue to evolve. And then social media came along, and geez, if you didn't have Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and then, of course, being able to go live from time to time or pre-live to talk about products or service, engage and build a community, then again, you're not in business. If you're not on social media, you're not in business. Well, then live streaming came, and this really disrupted television completely. I mean, folks, you realize that I am live right now. And if you don't believe me, just go to thepowerisnow.com. Actually, go to your app store. Go to your app store, pull up your iPhone, your iPad, download Apple TV. If you're already watching, if you're in your home, go to your Apple TV, go to your Roku, go to your Fire TV, and you can pull up the Powers Now TV, and we are live right now as I speak. You can watch me on television. Little old me. How is it that an average guy, I'm just a broker, banker, right? I'm really nobody, but I'm live worldwide, literally worldwide. The reach is hundreds of millions, hundreds of millions. And of course, I have to now, since I'm on the platform, I have to invest money to make sure people are aware that I'm alive, that I'm live on television, and that they can actually watch me on television in their home or on their mobile device or tablet. I've got to advertise that. I've got to promote that just like you would anything else, right? Some people think that if you just, it's like when Facebook started, initially you just get on Facebook and you can have a couple of thousand people watch you. Now you can get on Facebook and no one will be there, even now, right? Unless you did a bunch of advertising and promoting of it. And that's what you have to do today. You have to do that. But we invest our advertising, our money in SEO and in streaming, not in social media. Although organically, we love our social media family. And those of you who are watching right now, we encourage you to share this video with others. But more importantly, if you're a real estate professional, be the brand you see yourself in the world. You want to have your own TV show, you want to have your own podcast, you want to have your own magazine. I mean, you can have all of these things on your terms with your brand and be the media company. And that's the last part of our topic today. And that is, we need leadership in government. We need leadership in the community. We have that with Wes Moore. We have that with the 100 Black Men organization. And we need leadership in media. Everyone needs to recognize today, you are media, right? There's no such thing as the media. You are the media. You can control the narrative. You can tell your own story. You don't have to rely on any radio station or any television network or anything. You can have it your own way. And that's my case. I mean, I'm not just talking about this. I'm living it, folks. You can go to my website, ericfrazier.com. And you can see I have my own TV show, which is being broadcast right now, the Eric Frazier Show on the Powers Now TV network. I have my own podcast. I have my own magazine called Faith, Family, and Finance. I'm not just talking about this. I live it. I'm doing it. And I help other real estate professionals to do it as well. And we help you from A to Z, from cradle to grave, be able to focus on real estate. And we take care of the back office to help you be a media brand yourself and build your own audience. And that's what you have to do. It doesn't happen overnight. It's like Facebook or YouTube. You can start a YouTube channel. You're not going to have 1 million people overnight or even 1,000 people. You've got to build that audience over time. And that starts with having great content. That's the challenge, because you can spend a few $100s and, advertise and grow your listener base easily over time. But can you produce great content? That's the challenge that most people have. Having something to talk about, something of substance, and having information that people need to know, understand about their market if you're a real estate agent, or about loans if you're a mortgage consultant. And we help people do just that. Well, that's our show for today, folks. And I really appreciate you taking the time to watch. And if you're watching the recording after the fact, please consider reaching out to me at ericfrazier.com. If you're in need of any support in regard to business, personal financial coaching, media coaching, whatever you may need, become a member of thepowerisnow.com. And as a member, you have access to all of our content. I mean, I have published multiple books that are available to our members for free, or you can go to Amazon and buy it. We publish multiple magazines on real estate, great information, podcasts, TV shows, private events, live webinars, and live Zoom meetings with me to answer questions. All of that is available for members of The Power Is Now. And it's only $10 a month. And if you pay annually, $60 for the whole year. It's a great opportunity to support a great program that's helping people get the tools and the information they need to become investors, homeowners, to improve their credit, to save money, to eliminate their debt. We're all about empowering people to live their best life. And the power is now, folks, to do it. It really is. Thank you for watching the Eric Frazier Show. I appreciate your time today. Please share this video with others, and please join us on The Power Is Now. Become a member today. Remember, we are at our best and we maximize our success when we act now. The power is now.